From Rock History Music. Yes, I'm back. This is from PJ Media. Just came out today. I found it was interesting. I was doing a few interviews today, and I was mentioning this to some of the artists that I was talking to, and they weren't surprised by this, and maybe you won't be either. The title of the article is "The Music Industry is in Crisis Because People are Buying More Old Songs Than New Songs," believe it or not. According to the music sales data company, old songs now represent an astonishing 70% of the US market. It's even more noteworthy that the streaming platforms, where 200 of the most popular tracks are now less than 5% of total streams of like the new stuff. The current list of most downloaded tracks on iTunes reads like The Police, Creedence Clearwater Revival. It's amazing how many of the old guys are in there, like Message in the Bottle, a hit from like 1979. Warner Brothers just acquired, of course, the David Bowie songbook, Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen. These are all being bought out, and you're starting to see that, hey, maybe this is a great investment for someone who's buying into that. One of the reasons they talked about is the sense of melody that's missing in a lot of new music today. It took me a lot of years to like rap, but eventually I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I could get it. I could understand it. But the one thing about that genre, it's not really high on melody. And of course, the music that I grew up with, being 61 years old, is all very high on that kind of melody. Is a huge thing. Hi, Dwayne, how you doing, man? So that might be one of the things. But when you look at the fact that so much music from our when we grew up, hi, James, good afternoon to you too, is heavily based on melody. And there's always these little memes on Facebook about my music was better than yours. And I like a lot of new music, but when I walk into a record store and there's still record stores, I don't get excited anymore because I know the bulk of what's there. I get Taylor Swift, and you heard about the complaint about Taylor Swift. This musician was saying that she doesn't write her own songs. She co-writes, and that's a whole other thing I'm not going to get into. But when I listen to Taylor Swift, I get why people like her music. I play Taylor Swift on my radio show in Vancouver almost every single night. Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa I actually like quite a bit. I can understand that, but they don't excite me as much as the music that I listened to when I was growing up, and that's just a fact. So, hi all. Love live great music. Art, thank you for tuning in. But what do you think? There's still a lot of great new bands out there, but I'm not excited to go out and necessarily buy it. So first of all, this is, I miss record stores. We still have them here. I forget I can't remember the name. So there's lots of record stores that are independently owned. That's why Record Store Day is so big, that bring back that stuff. But I find myself right now going back and going on Spotify and listening to albums that Jude Cole, for instance, I bought one Jude Cole album, and I'm going, why did I only buy one album? Mark Cohen, I bought two albums. Why did I only buy two albums? I'm going back and listening to the stuff that I missed. A lot of the 80s stuff. I'm recreating the 80s with brand new music that I missed. Greta Van Fleet is a great band. Brian, well said. They really are. Their lead singer is my least favorite, but I still like him. And I'm glad they're around. There's a lot of great new bands, great new music. It takes looking. You're very, very well said. The Gatekeepers don't allow to promote. Oh, hold on, let me see. I'll get your comment here because I'll go into the page hold on, let me find you. There we go. I'll get your comment right here on our homepage. There we go. There you go. The Gatekeepers don't promote anything new or outside of an increasingly narrowing little box. The musicians have been saying for a long time that they're frustrated because, like, for instance, if The Who release a new album, classic rock stations won't play them. They're more interested in playing all the old hits, and classic rock stations aren't known for playing songs that need to be proven. Their format is heavily based on songs that have already been proven from your past, from your jukebox. But when you look at the fact that new music is not outselling old music, you look at it and you go, what the heck's going on? Let me read the headline again. It's different from the headline I put on here slightly. The music industry is in crisis because people are buying more old songs than new songs. According to the music sales data company, RMC, old songs now represent an astonishing 70% of the US market. It's even more noteworthy on streaming platform where the 200 most popular tracks now account for less than 5% of the total streams. And they're coming up with, and we mentioned the David Bowie catalog, we mentioned the Bruce Springsteen catalog, all these catalogs, Bob Dylan, they're all selling their catalogs. And that's ending up being, and no one said this was going to be a bad investment of any of these artists. Elton John did that a few years ago. That this is a really good investment for the companies. Like Sony bought, I think if I remember correctly, Warner Brothers bought David Bowie. I'll just check some of your comments here before we sign off. I'm not sure why my stream's not coming on here. Reggie says, I wish we made more in NYC. COVID lockdown took a lot of its toll. I hear you, man. Let me go back a little bit. I miss record stores. That's Brian. Yeah, there are a lot of great new bands. Let's see. Kim Trickle. Hi, Kim. How you doing? Walmart and Kohl's have started selling albums. That's true. Dennis, the lack of melody is a key reason why most of today's music will be forgettable. That's what we mentioned in the top. And this article even says that because music, rap music, whether you like it or not, and like I said, I like it, I don't love it, is not heavy on melody. And there's a lot of songs in the last few years that have been released where it's hey-oh, these kind of campfire kind of songs. Like it sounds, and people have complained about this, it sounds like children music. The melodies are so simple. And when you look at old Elton John or even Billy Joel, like Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, a lot of the older Elton John stuff where the bounce, the phrasing was so complicated. It's not just like three syllables, la, la, la. I mean, you don't get great phrasing with the mainstream artists, at least anymore. So it's a chicken or egg thing. People always go, they would complain to me when I did when I was doing live broadcast as a broadcaster, which I still am. And they'd go, why don't you play more of these songs? They'd say, why don't you play the deep tracks? And I'd say, because I see you once a month when I do this. I get a call from you once a month, but a lot of people are not requesting these songs. And they go, chicken or the egg, though. If you played these songs, maybe I'd request them. And I go, well, some of the songs you want me to play out of the blue are songs that have been released since 1972. So people haven't gotten it by now. Brutus Plaque. I've been buying vinyl for at least last 9 years here in CT. New music today is so-so, but there are albums by, say, Sammy Hagar, Journey. What radio stations play new music from older bands? They don't, not a lot. Hi, John. Today's music, this is from Mario C. Today's music is very much the same. Creative music is gone. It seems that much of the music is just manufactured. It's very true. A lot of the new stuff is. Brutus Plaque says, rest in peace, Meatloaf. Yes, for sure. Now, you talk about like crazy phrasing. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, that is insane, James Bashir, I keep an open ear mind for new music. Good for you. That's smart. Road Trip Eddie, a catchy, repetitive melody always stays in my head for a long time. Very well said. Mark Elderberry Wine. There's a great song by Elton John. Yeah, Don't Shoot Me. That was a great album. Blaze, how you doing, buddy? Brother John, most of what I listen to is vinyl. Tumbleweed Connection is the bomb. Hey, like 2 Elton John quotes back to back. I've been listening to a lot of Elton John. But as I mentioned a while ago, I've been listening to a lot of Mark Cohen, Jude Cole. I'm listening to a lot of older Canadian stuff and a lot of British and US stuff that I might have missed. I don't know why. I like newer proggish Scandinavian bands as well. Personally, I find, this is Kevin Walsh, I find that most new rock doesn't grab me at all. A few bands like Dirty Honey rock out though. Thank you. Art Matters. Hey, Art, nice to have you back. Wind to the Wind. Neil Sean, Steve Perry. I pray. Teddy Bates. Hi, Teddy. Nice to have you back. True artistry never goes out of style. Many of today's artists don't have it. That's true. It's the lacking of melody. A few people have mentioned it. The article mentions it. 70% of the music being sold is old music. And you're having, I mean, my son Chase, the first record he ever bought when he was 8 years old was Zeppelin 1, a remastered version of that. So the Lazies are great. Melody, I'm not familiar with them. Day of Warm Analogy recording is long gone. That's from Mark. And 333 Jess. New music has sucked for a long time. I only listen to music I grew up with. By the way, I'm getting a lot of new people here I haven't talked to you before. We do live broadcast every single day. We do a heck of a lot of interviews with classic rock people. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We'd love to have you on here. We're also going to start putting, as of today, some of the videos we put on Rock History Book, like 5 biggest bands from LA, 5 musicians who died without fanfare, 5 of the most tragic deaths in rock and roll, 5 top horn bands of all time. We're going to start putting some of those on this channel because they're actually, they seem to perform better on this channel. So there's a band called Monster Truck. I don't know them. Kim says, the rock station here in Raleigh, North Carolina plays a lot of older artists and older stuff. I like that kind of stuff. Oh, they're Australian. Oh, thank you, Melody. I appreciate that. Thank you for all your feedback. It's, there's a part of me that's happy about this. I'm going, oh, yeah, we won. But I don't want to sound like an old fart of going, well, there's obviously some good new music. My dad, I always say this, my dad, what? Can you put up the entire Jim Mastey interview? Oh, yeah, I can do that. My dad didn't watch the Grammys. Did your dad? If he did, that's really, really cool. But my dad did not, and he didn't do that because the Grammys weren't for him. So I don't watch the Grammys because I don't feel the Grammys, even though it should be my business to watch the Grammys. Yeah, it's a little too bright. That's better. So that music's not for me. So it's easy for me to go on here and going, well, I'm 61, almost 62, by the way, in a few weeks. That they're not singing to me, but it doesn't mean some of it won't touch me. So there you go. This is from Chuck. In the 1970s in Cleveland, WMMS radio did not play classic rock because it did not exist at the time. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The music that we grew up with, a lot of us, if you're in the age group of people who watch this channel, the music we grew up with at the time was brand new, and that was the new stuff. But classic rock as well, and I'm in radio, has turned into more of a gold format a little bit because now they're starting to add newer decades to classic rock, right? Before the 80s weren't really involved in classic rock. In some stations, you're 61 as well? Great age. We're doing a whole series, by the way, keep in mind, on one of our channels, which is looking back at specific years. So if your birthday's coming up, if you know someone who was born a specific year, you can send them a video and say, hey, how you doing? Rick, Top 40 Hub. Hey, John, there's a good band called The Record Company. Good rock band. When were the Grammys? I forgot about them. Yeah, I don't watch them. Yeah, when Jethro Tull won the band Grammy. Mark, yeah, I'm interviewing Ian Anderson tomorrow. My eldest sibling will be 63 this year. There you go. Thank you, Dwayne. Melody R. Birthdays on Sunday. The big 60. Oh, happy birthday. I don't know when mine is. Mine's February 1st. I don't even know what day that is. That is, hey, it's a week from today. That's my birthday. 62. What the heck? I'm going to read a few more comments and we're going to hang it up. Gene Simmons of KISS says rock is dead. This is from Lux Dico. I tend to agree. The music business really has changed big time. It really, really has. Quite a bit. Lewis Crow says, I'd be 59 soon. I'll be 59 soon. Most music left me behind in the mid-90s. I haven't bought an album of new artists since then. I hear you. Melody R. Tuesday. Yes. Art Matters. 56 years young. Real music will never die. Well said. Mark Burchette says, I'm 56. Billy Rossi, 46. 68 in October. Good for you. Stay strong, stay young. Dwayne says, my second eldest sibling will be 60 this year. Roger P. If you like melodic pop rock, check out the singer-songwriter Michael Patrick Kelly. Thank you for all the suggestions with his new album, I'll just read Boats, which stands for Based on a True Story. Oh, okay. It's a great album. Thank you for that. Eric Bolivar says, how do we promote the good bands? They are out there. Yes, they are. You're right. I just don't find a lot of them are talking to me. I mean, I want to learn more. It's my business. When someone sends me a link of music, I'll always listen to it every single time, no matter what. I'll listen to everything they send me because I'm always looking for something that excites me. I remember the first time I heard Bruce Hornsby in the 80s. I stared at the speakers going, what is that? Of course, it was The Way It Is. And Carry On Wayward Son did that to me. Don't Look Back by Boston did that to me. Paradise by the Dashboard Light did that to me, even though I didn't buy the album for a long, long time. There's just songs that kind of, we all have those songs. I don't have that happen to me anymore. It's almost like it's gone. Brother John, how's Danica? Well, I was supposed to I interviewed, some of you might know Dominic Triano, who joined the Guess Who on their last two albums. He replaced, oh my God, he was in so many, Joe Walsh in the James Gang. I interviewed his brother today because we lost Dominic a few years ago and we talked about the book that they wrote about him. So that was coming up. Ian Anderson's coming up. We've got, who do we got? A few people coming up next week. Boo Censorship. Hold Trusty. Randy So True. James Bashir. I got to go here, guys. Like watching the talk shows to try to keep up with new music. Yeah, there you go. Guys, love ya. If you're going to give me a comment, just bring it on here before we got a good one. That's funny. I had a comment. Okay, here we go. Anthony, YouTube fan. Randy, yes, that happens damn too much. And it does even have to be rock artists over the age of 40 don't seem to get much radio play. That's unfortunately very true. And the station's off the beaten path. That's a good thing about not podcasts as much, but people streaming radio stations now. They're giving you a little bit more. Alan Shoesmith. Lots of excellent new music is being made. It's just that the industry has difficult accommodating it. See you Fridays. Thanks, Blaze. Enjoy the day, folks. We're gonna wrap it up, but remember, 70% of the music being sold is old music. In streaming softwares, it's basically the same thing. So something's going on. I know streaming, and we're talking about streaming too. It's not like, oh, they're not buying it, they're streaming, but they looked at streaming as well. So thanks, guys. Take care of yourself. John Bowden, Rock History Music.